So what about someone who's having trouble sleeping if you're taking ketone-free or caffeine-free NAT? So usually the ketones are helpful to help somebody sleep. I mentioned earlier the signal OSpm is very common with the 5-HTP and things like that. But the ketones themselves have also been shown to be very calming, it helps to trigger the release of GABA, which is a very common neurotransmitter. So usually we find that the ketones help somebody sleep even if they're taking the caffeine-free version. If that's not the case for you, then I just encourage taking it earlier in the evening. We know that beta-hydroxybutyrate is also a fuel for the brain. It can make a lot of changes in terms of mental clarity, brain fog that you might be experiencing during the day. So if you're finding that when you take it later in the evening, it's disrupting your sleep, then just take it earlier in the day. So although that's not a common outcome, I always say that anyone can respond to anything in any way. So just because it's a typical response in most people doesn't mean that that's how every person will respond when they take it. So it's entirely possible that that other people will have the opposite effect from what we expect. So if that's you, the adjustment would be to be taking it at a different time of day, earlier and not close to bedtime. And then maybe at bedtime you want to consider the signal OSpm. You also might want to do a little trial and find out, is it other ingredients in the ketones that are disrupting your sleep, or is it the beta-hydroxybutyrate itself? So maybe test with the broth, for example, and see if sipping some of the broth at night, if that disrupts your sleep. And so find out specifically, is it the ketones or is it something else? So that might be a good trial for you as well.